Mhm. This episode of the Offroad Podcast is sponsored by Warren Medical Gear Outfitters and Colby Valve.
Offroad Podcast, episode 386, The Ultimate Truck Builds.
Tonight, Aaron climbs a ladder, Jeremy is a ghost, and Ben bangs on his starter.
Welcome to the Offroad Podcast, the podcast about everything off-road. We cover the news, review products, and interview people in the off-road industry. Your hosts tonight are Aaron, and my name is Ben, and shortly we should be joined by Coy tonight. So, and welcome to the show. How's it going tonight there, buddy?
Doing well. Doing well. And, a little tired, long day at work. But other than that,
were you down in the hole again?
I was down in the hole again, yes. Yep. So what Ben is referring to is this job site I've been on for the past week. I'm 16 feet down in a concrete vault in the ground, connected to a safety tether with a air sniffer, and I've got someone has to watch me the entire time, an observer, because it's considered a confined space. So,
I so wish that you worked closer to where I live. I'd just pop over and like throw a bucket down with some lotion on it.
I was telling somebody that I shared those pictures with you guys, and I'm like, my wife's reaction was, "Oh man, that sounds terrible," and then all my guy friends are like, "Silence of the Lambs." Yeah, pretty funny. Well, what have you been up to, Ben? Last week was getting kind of worried because you said you went to drive your truck and it wouldn't start.
Well, fortunately, the powers that be, I pulled that starter out, and no joke, this is how tight it was to get it out.
See, you say that's tight, and maybe it's tight for any starter you've ever done, but I did one time on a Ford 351 Cleveland that had headers, and I had to snake it through the tubes of the headers.
Okay,
and it probably weighed twice as much as your starter too.
Yeah, it probably did. So the funny thing is, the aftermarket starter I got was actually smaller, so it popped right in.
Very nice.
The solenoid is smaller, and I'm guessing maybe it's a change in technology. I kept the starter. I haven't sent it back. I'm gonna see if I can get parts to rebuild it so that the next time the starter goes out, I could just switch it out.
What is the core charge cost on it?
Like $30.
Okay. So that starter that I had go out on me was on a 73 Ford Ranchero, and I took it to a place local in Tacoma, down by the Tacoma Dome, and they rebuilt it for me while I stood around and waited. So,
oh, nice.
I don't know if they're still there. That was 20 years ago, but maybe there's starter rebuilding places around. I don't know.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Fortunately. Go ahead.
I saw a meme the other day. A dude was texting somebody about not being able to get the oil filter off. He's like, drive a screwdriver through it. And then the text was like, I can't get the screwdriver to go all the way through. He's like, send me a picture. And there was just a picture of a starter, the screwdriver beat halfway through it.
Oh, no.
That's good.
That's wonderful.
You got to real.
If you come across that again, you got to send that to us.
Yeah. I will say there was one saving grace with this all was the tool that I went and bought. I got a Milwaukee brushless electric ratchet. It only does like 35 pounds of torque, but it was enough to break the starter bolts free. Or not break them free, but I broke them free with another ratchet. But you only have like an inch of movement in there. And that just made the bolts come out so fast. It probably saved me days. Not really.
Oh, I can see your new starter back in the back of that photo.
Oh, yeah.
Look at that.
So, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Your frame and fender wells and everything are just about as dirty as the ones in my truck, as we'll see in a couple photos coming up here.
Yeah. Then I borrowed my neighbor's giant pipe wrench. because I decided to do my timber and bump stops finally. And
Oh, I thought maybe you were practicing for bringing your truck to SEMA this coming year, where we're gonna give out $5 tickets for people to hit it.
I'm thinking at least $20 a ticket for that. It's SEMA; they should be rich. But that happened. So one of the bolts snapped. Even with PB Blaster hit inside, I probably didn't hit it well enough. So yeah, the only way to fix that is I have to pull my lower control arm and drill it out. So currently I am using 3 bump stops out of 4 on my Forerunner.
3 out of 4 ain't bad.
Yeah, as long as I don't jump my Forerunner, I should be good.
Quick question, Ben. How much is it to just buy a new lower control arm? For like,
I've got a new lower control arm. So
Oh.
I'm getting I actually my driver's side the bushings on my lower control arm it's about time to replace them. So I was like, oh, I'll just do my lower control arm when I get back from Montana and I'll drill it out. I've got I leave Wednesday morning. So I've got a lot on my plate to do before then.
I told Ben to make sure that when he jumps his truck, not if, but when he jumps his truck before he gets that fixed, to not land on that corner because the bump stop is missing. So land anywhere but that corner.
If you ever watch rally cars jump, they always come down on one tire, not both at the same time, because it actually does help.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, much smoother.
And Ben, he does have that like dirt fish, level of skill. So I'm sure that he could give it that little Scandinavian flick right as he crests the jump.
Yeah.
Travis says that he did the starter in his M3, and it was a PETA also, but his was on the intake manifold.
Yeah, that's the V8 4Runners and the Tundras. But from what I understand, at least with those, it's very seldom that they go out because they're protected from the elements. Versus somebody that drives like a, Mama said can't say bad words, so I'll leave that there.
Yeah. Hey, real quick, I want to address this. Spike says he got a coupon, a 2-for-1 coupon. Spike, those are the old coupons. I'll have new coupons coming out that are a 5-for-1 hit, just so you know. Since he upped it to $20, the new coupons are 5-for-1 hit.
I think that we're gonna have a coupon do like a 1 sledgehammer, but then 4 free hits with nunchucks. Like we'll mix it up. 2 throwing stars.
Oh my goodness.
Stars. Oh man, everybody's changing starters. Josh just did one on his Xterra, and it took him 15 minutes. So, and Facebook user says, "Hey boys,
I've done a few starters where literally it's like actually the Wagoneer. I did the starter on the Wagoneer, and it was 2 bolts. It literally popped out, popped the new one in. It was boom.
Yeah.
So yeah. So I mentioned. Did I mention that the county's being a pain in the butt with my my shop on the podcast?
I don't think you did.
So I started the stuff for my shop. The county is wanting me my reserve drain field is touching the building. By like maybe 4 feet of the reserve drain field is inside of the building.
Exactly. What do you mean by reserve drain field? Because I've never heard that term.
All right. So in my county,
I think he's getting punked.
I am. That's how I feel from the county. Is you have your drain field, and then if for some reason your drain field collapses or has a problem, there's an alternative location for your new drain field, and that's where my problem is. So I get to spend.
And we're talking about drain field for septic.
Yeah, for septic. So I get to spend $3,000 with an engineer to come out, dig a hole in my property, and then for the county to come out and say, "Yep, that dirt looks good. That's good for a septic tank," when it's just on the other side of the yard.
So do you have to move the septic tank, or
no? Nothing has to be done. It's literally they're digging a hole to say, "Yep, that dirt looks good," in case your current drain field collapses.
Eric mentions that he had a reserve secondary field also. Eric, was that when you were in the South Hill area, or is that
probably
somewhere else? Curious. I do know that the area that Ben and Eric and I used to live in, rocks grew like potatoes there, and the ground was awful. So
Yeah.
maybe that has
Can you
something to
just
do with
dig
it.
this? Can you dig this test hole yourself?
I could, but again, I don't have the time, and the county fees are getting ready to go up. So instead of paying that, I'm just paying someone else to dig the hole. So yeah, that's fun. So I had to clean up my front yard. So I decided to make another off-road trailer. I went and did a dump run, and I needed a spot to put the some of the stuff that was in the front side yard. So I threw the rooftop tent on the back of the truck bed trailer and moved it into the backyard.
Eric calls them spanaway spuds, the rocks that grow in the ground.
Oh, when my great grandpa bought his property out in Graham, eons ago after World War II, people were asking him when he was getting back to home.
I bought my house just after World War II as well.
Screw you, Coy.
Saying.
But people were asking him what he was going to grow, and he's like, "Oh, we grow rocks there."
Yeah.
Let's see.
Very common.
Very common.
I like Josh's comment here. He says that we've determined that the off-road podcast listener group can change any starter out there.
Yes, we can. Oh, I added some Narcan to my first aid kit. So our county has a program to prevent the those who like to abuse drugs and overdose, a Narcan program. So a couple years ago, they made it so you could get it over the counter. There's a company that's doing a program for you can get some free Narcan. So,
Josh, I didn't fight in either of those wars. I just bought my house after those wars. That's all I'm saying.
So yeah. With moving stuff around in the yard, I winched Vern, the J truck, from one side of the yard to the other. I could have got a neighbor to help me, but I figured I'd use my Warren hub. It came in handy though.
Yeah.
So your Narcan thing, that's just your county that's doing it? Because I'd actually really like to have some of that for my kid as well.
It's a state program.
Well,
But
if Washington's do it, Oregon will do it soon. I don't really want it for myself or anybody I know. I just, when I see a person experiencing homelessness and then you can tell that they're on drugs, just run up and just hit them with that Narcan and be like, ha!
Just take it away from them?
Yeah, it's like smashing a beer out of somebody's hand. But if you could just smash their drunkenness right out of their body.
Oh
man.
That's terrible. I just
Just imagine your all-time low and you just spend your last dollars on whatever kind of drugs, and then you're just boom, it hits, and then I run up and just take it away.
I just figured with all the crap that's been going around, like people are lacing fentanyl and all sorts of crap, it would be just handy just in case some dude who goes to smoke a joint goes in ends up smoking some fentanyl and starts ODing. I don't know if you can even smoke fentanyl, but
yeah, I'm not sure if that's how it works, but that's okay. We get your point across.
But
back in my day, we used to say thank you if there was extra drugs in our us. Never mind.
Was that after World War II?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
So you
I
moved a bunch of rigs around so you could dig a test hole.
And I moved the J truck to the side of the house, and I used nobody but myself and the Forerunner with the winch. I pulled it out and around. I had to get out and like hop in the truck, turn the wheel, then hop back in the Forerunner, pull it some more, and then I used a snatch or not my pulley and an extension, and I pulled it into the backyard from my neighbor's yard with the gate. I had just enough room to park next to the truck and then pull it through there. So yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but the cool thing is the my dad's XJ was dead. I got that in the backyard, but like the battery instantly died. It was pretty much running off the alternator. So I was able to use the Warren hub to sit inside the XJ to push on the brake and use the winch on the Forerunner, which is like 30, 40 feet away. So that was kind of handy. I like that.
Yeah, that is pretty sweet.
So yeah, that's been me. Just got to finish packing a few things for the Forerunner. The wife's been driving it to work because it's threatening to snow. Like it snows a little bit, and better safe than sorry. Though, if that's the case for tomorrow, I'll probably just drive her to work and then pick her up in the morning, so I can get the Forerunner packed. Because she works in downtown Auburn, and it's not a nice area. And I don't want to have like my Christmas presents on the Forerunner.
Mark says, on a serious note, are there first aid equipment / meds that are only available in certain states, or is all pretty much available? I would expect that it's all available. I think Ben is just talking about his county was giving this stuff away.
It was my state.
Because of the state was?
Yeah, it was
because they've got a problem.
And actually,
pretty sure you can buy Narcan anywhere in the United States. Just you'd have to buy it, whereas you can actually some counties do a thing where they give it away for free. Or it sounds like Ben's state is doing it.
There's a what's it called? If you've got a PPO insurance, or what type of insurance where you have the fund, you can actually buy first aid equipment, and if you haven't used all of your deductible, I can't remember what they call that with the account.
Yeah, I know we have that account. I can't remember the name of it either, but yeah.
So
yeah, Narcan doesn't look very cheap. So
it was like 80,
awesome that you get it.
From what I've heard, it's like $80. I got the nasal doses, and then they also offer injectable, which I don't really
like blow darts.
Eric says a health savings account.
Your workplace will do it. They pull the money out pre-tax, and you can spend it on medically related stuff. But you can buy like blood pressure cuffs and whatever.
Yeah, I think it's called a health savings account.
No.
It sounds like something like that. But I know sites like Medical Gear Outfitters.
You better text your wife.
I am.
Eric wants to know the hit the starter story. So didn't you say that you did whack it and it did start working?
So when I got the tire off, and it was up in the air, I decided, you know what, I'm gonna smack it one more time. I smacked it. And then I walked over to the Forerunner, and I was like, I'll turn the key just to see what happens. And it started. So I decided to call Aaron, and I was like, all right, Aaron, I kind of don't want to do this, but I have all the stuff. The tire's off. Should I do it? And Aaron, being the not a pessimist, would that be a pessimist?
That would I would consider myself a realist.
Yeah, a realist. I might as well do it because it'd be better for it not to go bad in the middle of a trip
in the winter
and having
Montana
starter.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's called an HSA, health savings account, HSA, but I don't know. I don't work in the medical field. I only use it. Well, we're almost 20 minutes in.
My wife says it's a FSA.
Oh,
I don't know what that stands for.
Something else savings account.
Yeah.
Account.
Yeah.
Well,
we're almost 20 minutes into Ben's what he's been up to this week. This is the most you've ever done.
It's been a busy week.
Yeah.
Stands for flexible spending account. Okay.
Oh, flexible.
It's basically the same as what you had in mind.
Yeah. Well, let's see what I was up to. I went to Coy's house a couple nights ago for I mentioned this last week. Coy was putting on a big old shindig, his fall fest, which turned into winter fest because fall was too full. And it went from being pumpkin spice to eggnog as the theme, which I'm totally cool with. Had a good time there. Ben, didn't you give Coy something to give to me?
I did. I when we were in Montana, or I mean when we were at the desert,
Christmas Valley.
Christmas Valley, I made Christmas ornaments for you and Coy for Christmas. And since you weren't there, I gave it to Coy to give to you because Coy would see you before I saw you. But that
Yeah.
absolutely did not happen because I've seen you twice since then.
Oh, I've seen him since then too, but
I know. So yeah, I went to his house and totally spaced on the ornament and forgot to get it. So my ornament is apparently on Coy's tree. So we're decorating their house.
Yeah.
Kind of fun.
I'll tell you what,
Yeah,
you
you're
can
welcome.
have the one Ben gave me next year. You can have both of them.
I
for your
see.
tree.
We're gonna trade. We're gonna trade
Yeah.
off.
It'd be the story of the traveling Christmas ornaments.
Gotcha. Well, so besides going to Coy's house and forgetting your ornament, Ben, sorry about that. I got some free cabinets for my shop from a job site I was on.
Nice.
And let's see here. I installed. So on my shop, I installed metal siding up to a certain point. Then there's clear plastic siding going above that, and to let light in like a skylight, but it's a wall light, but they don't call it a wall light. So I started installing that this Saturday. I got maybe a quarter of the way done with it before I ran out of this 1x1 foam backer. So I got that coming. Yeah, free is my favorite number also, Mark. And then I worked on the Nissan a little bit. So I got the front end practically put back together. All I have left to do on this passenger side is disconnect the old brake caliper and connect it to the new one, and then tighten the axle nut and drop a cotter key in. So that's it on that side. The other side, I still have a ball joint that's spinning on me. I had to watch a video to figure out how to prevent that. But I got a ball joint that's spinning, and then same thing, caliper and axle. And I'm not going to try to tighten my axle nut some other ways that some people have suggested. I'm going to wait till the brakes are bled, and then I'll use the calipers to hold the discs to hold the axle in place. So that's what I got going on there.
Why don't you just put the wheel on and have the cap off the wheel? Because can't you see the axle nut with the wheel on?
Possibly, but I'm not in a hurry to tighten those down. I just have to remember to not forget to tighten them down.
Do you know what your torque specs are on those?
101.
Oh, that's not bad. My Forerunner are like 2 or 150 or something like that, or 175.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I needed a bigger torque wrench.
Yeah,
I know my Toyota, it's just a little bit more than the max of my torque wrench. So
Yeah,
I
exactly.
break it all the way up, hit it, then I put an impact on it, kind of give her a little more.
just a little more.
Just a couple of daggers.
Before I put tires on, though, I am going to try to get 1 more inch of lift out of the front suspension. I think I have a little bit of forward rake right now, so I'm going to try to get an inch. So I sprayed down my coilovers with some PB Blaster, and everything I read, you got to use a chunk of pipe on the end of the little tiny spanner wrench that they give you to spin these things with. So we'll see how that goes. Josh asked me what kind of sliders I have. I'll have to think about that and get back to you. It's a company out of California, and it's somewhat a DIY that you have to weld part of it together. It's partly built, and you have to do the trail ready, I think. Does that sound right?
Yeah,
trail gear. It was trail gear. So yeah, I just bought some trail gear sliders. They sold them in like 3 or 4 different lengths. So
Josh, I want to know what you did this week. Tell us.
Another company, SoFab, to look at for that too. They ship.
And then the last thing I did was I started digging into my power steering leak. You can see here's the cooler at the very top of the picture, and that 90-degree bend where it's all wet. That rubs a little bit on the top of my winch. I've determined that this section of the power steering is low pressure, so I bought a generic cooler that has 2 more rows of cooling in it, off of the internet, and some rubber hose, and I'm just gonna demo this whole thing out. Aaron, why don't you just get an OEM one? Well, because it costs 3 times as much, and I'd have to take the entire bumper off because it's one piece that goes from outside the driver's side frame up to this part and then back down and then outside the passenger side frame, like up in the wheel well area. So I'd have to take the entire front bumper off, and ain't nobody got time for that.
Nobody.
So I'm just going to chop that bad boy out of there and slip in some rubber hose and finish the job. Awesome that you got your flatbed done. You'll have to send some pictures in our Facebook group, Josh. Coy, what have you been up to this week?
Well, I threw the party that you went to.
Oh,
and so
thank
there was that. It wasn't too bad. My wife did most of the work, and that's really all. That with just regular actual work, like job. I did that. I did see a really weird thing at work this week. I've been working closely with an electrician, and it freaks me out because he uses DeWalt tools, which is just weird.
Mm-hmm.
And I confronted him. I was like, "Hey, why don't you have red tools?" And he's like, "Meh." I don't know. So I just wanted to let you know, Aaron, that one of your boys is out of line. So
Yeah.
I don't know what the code word is or what, but you need to handle this guy.
Did he give you a little hand thing when he said, "Nah, stop it"? Or
No,
anything
well,
like
he said
that?
he likes DeWalt better, and I'm like, DeWalt's construction trade,
that's right there.
Milwaukee's electrician. So I was like, I don't know what you used to do, but you got to bump it up, buddy.
Was he an older guy, Coy?
No.
Because
I'm going to assume that his company just doesn't care, and they probably don't pay for.
I know a lot of electricians, like the one I used to work for. They used DeWalt before Milwaukee was a big deal.
The previous company I worked for used all DeWalt tools, but all of the electricians that worked for them brought their own Milwaukee tools that they used specifically. So, yeah,
I use
that's
DeWalt
just
tools at work, but if
goes.
anyone who's ever owned a power tool saw, I was using a grinder underwater the other day, so that kind of it was not clean water.
That's awesome.
I submerged the entire thing in mud so I could get to the bottom of this pipe. So just the wheel was basically out of the water. The motor batteries, I destroy them regularly. Then I'm in a hole and I just suck it over my shoulder to get it out of my way. They are robust. I'll give DeWalt that. They're durable.
Yeah.
That's about all I've been up to, though, guys. Nothing cool.
Well,
All right.
You're leaving out one thing, Coy, because I noticed recently that this podcast that you're a part of that's not ours started going again.
Oh yeah. We finally.
What's weird? Yeah. What's weird is he started back up, but the name didn't change this time. Usually you go on hiatus and then you come back, but it's a new podcast name. So I was kind of surprised that the name didn't change.
Yeah.
I only did that once.
I'm surprised it's not like the Florida Man and Oregon Man podcast,
Well, I'd probably get more listeners if I called it that.
Florida Oregon line. We also want to thank our sponsor, Patriot Patch. Head over to patriotpatch.co and check out their selection of great patches, shirts, cleaning mats, signs, and stickers. You can also join the Patch of the Month Club for $15 and receive a patch, matching sticker, and artist proof each month. I don't have any other patches nearby.
Well, the Christmas patch, the Jingle Bell, his Jingle Bells. I don't have that uploaded either.
I'm wrong. Here it is.
Oh,
there. His belly button. I just noticed his belly button now. I'm noticing all these little details.
Yeah. There's one detail that's on the sticker that didn't make, I don't think made the The patch.
We talked about that. Yeah, we talked about it on the show.
Oh, was that the show? Okay.
Yeah.
You gotta call your boyfriend, get him in line. I don't know what's up with that kid.
Yeah, I haven't talked to him. I gotta reach out to him, find out what's going on.
Yep. He's probably sad because you haven't talked to him lately.
Hey, he talked to
Could
me
be.
Saturday.
No, different boy. I got boyfriends in every state, Coy.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, he's got an Idaho boyfriend. Oregon.
And I got a Nevada boyfriend with my same name.
Oh my goodness. Wow. So yeah, outside of that, don't forget our patch, $13 shipped to you in the US. For the
Giggity.
first one, 10 after for any additional, or 10 from us picked up in person. If you live internationally, hit us up. I'll get you a quote on the shipping. It'll be $10 plus the shipping. And so yeah, shoot us a message through any of our channels and we can set you up with a link via PayPal. And I think it's time for some news.
Have tire troubles ever left you deflated? Colby Valve has got you covered. Ever have a valve stem leak? Colby Valve makes reusable and easily replaceable valve stems that don't require you to remove your tire from the wheel. They work with your off-road rig, ATV, side-by-side, commuter vehicle, or even your tractor. Never be left stranded again because of a busted valve stem. They also have a tire repair kit for those punctures that keep you away from doing your favorite thing, wheeling. Make sure to check out colbyvalve.com or ask for them at your local off-road products store.
Coy, you just got that smile on your face.
We'll talk about it later.
Yeah. Oh, actually, Coy, you're up. Batter up. This one's up for you. Opinions
So-
on Mickey Thompson tires.
What? Huh? Option on Mickey Thompson tires?
No, opinions.
Opinion. I think they're great tires. They do cost more, but I mean, the price to be cool isn't free. So I really wanted to try the new Baja Boss tires. Didn't work out because Mickey Thompson decided not to make those. They decided to make new sizes and release those at SEMA instead of make existing sizes so that people could purchase them. So
Calm down.
Salty?
Calm down.
It happens to be so much. I mean, Elon Musk does it to me. I just want to buy the stuff you already make, and then you're like, "Oh, I'll ship half my stuff to Ukraine because they're having a hard time." Then I don't get a satellite dish. Then Mr. Thompson does it. It's annoying. They also their Baja Boss AT. They make a narrow 35 or 34 and a half or whatever. It's a size. That's a 255, 85, 17, I think, something like that.
Oh, I remember because we had this talk with Aaron, and he's
We
like,
talked about it. Which,
through 35, so I don't want it.
well, it's probably about as true as a 315 if you have to put them side by side.
Yeah.
I think if you look up some videos online, they're pretty much the same. So, which if they made it in a mud terrain, I would have tried that narrow one like that probably.
Yeah.
Well, we got some news here. And I'm excited Coy came on tonight out of the blue, just random, happened to come across the show and pop in because you guys actually talked about this in your last podcast, which is called I almost said boost and barbecue. Sorry about that. The horsepower hour. Yeah, sorry. And I'm not trying to be funny on that one. That was really what was about to come out of my mouth. So we're going to talk about some rigs. There's no news story on this one. We had to glean all this information from the internet, and basically I copied and pasted all of these as quotes from different people as this went on. So it was 8 rigs got stuck up at Wentworth Springs, which is on the Rubicon. And so the first thing that Coy, was it you that shared it in the group? The very, very first thing?
I wasn't, but then I kept sharing.
Or was it Aaron?
Updates. I'm not sure
Maybe
who
it was
shared it originally.
Maybe it was Aaron. So this was posted on December 12th, and it says, and so just so you know, December 12th was a Monday. So my friends are stuck at Wentworth Springs Campground at the Rubicon. They've been trying to get out since yesterday. There's 8 lifted trucks. Any help is appreciated, and I will update what they tell me, they don't have the best communication. So this is Monday. They've been trying since Sunday to get off the Rubicon. So 24
Just
hours.
right off the bat here, what I love about this, because this was in was it something California 4x4 rescue group.
NorCal is what I
NorCal.
saw it on.
Is they had people that they had a plan, obviously, and they have a problem, and they pass the information to someone else to help communicate and organize help for them. We talked about this last week on the show, and so just right off the bat, they admit they don't have the best communication, but they have some, and so hey,
Mhm.
there's a good start right there to their problems being solved.
Thank you, Josh.
So that was December 12th. December 13th, someone says there are 7+ feet of unconsolidated snow. I've never heard of snow described as unconsolidated. Does that mean that it's not packed in? I don't really know what that means.
Judging from the pictures, yeah, I'm gonna say it was like,
Yeah.
unpacked
Fresh.
snow, really light, fluffy.
Yeah, fresh fallen snow.
We made it within 2.5 miles of Wentworth Springs campground when the snowcat caught up with us. So this is people heading in to rescue them. Snowcat made it another half mile before he had to turn around. The low sections of Wentworth next to Gurley Creek. Is that right?
Almost certainly
Gerl.
not.
Yeah, it's probably not Gurley Creek.
Girl.
Whatever that creek name is, are 4+ feet deep water holes. We gave it our best try. Maybe someone else can get through the water holes or snowmobile in gas, diesel, and food. So I did hear someone say, how is the water that deep? How did they even get across? Because water doesn't back up that quickly. And someone said a tree had actually fallen across the creek and was damming up the water, and that's why it got deeper. So apparently
I'd read a really similar comment. The tree had fell across the creek, dammed it up a little bit, and then the creek rerouted itself through the trail. So that's why there was but who knows,
Yeah.
But that's something interesting. That's something, California, you don't really hear about water problems, and here we've got a water problem, right?
So
Yeah.
you hear about water
Well,
problems.
it's the high Sierras. They get lots of snow every year. This is very typical. So same day, December 13th, still Tuesday. We spent all afternoon and night trying to get the guy stranded at Wentworth Springs. When the snowcat couldn't get any further due to flooded crossings under the snow, we had to turn around. Not sure if anyone else is set out to help the guys. However, you might want to consider even the snowcat couldn't get them. We made it 1.8 miles from the group. Hats off to the guys in their rigs and the snowcat owner, who all volunteered a ton of time. Their effort speaks volumes to the integrity of this group. So that says they got within 1.8 miles of the group. Still the same day, the group has been resupplied. They are in good spirits again and are much closer to being out than they started this morning. So they will continue their adventure and camping one more night. The weather is gorgeous up there. And now they have food, fuel, and warmth and are happy to be almost done. So this is still on Tuesday. Massive shout out to the Gomez family for being who they are and handling the resupply mission. So that was the last update. This is the next day. This is Wednesday. Update time. The ground plan worked last night. There is now a decent trail packed past the obstacle. There's currently about a half a mile between where the group is and that obstacle. We need 3 to 4 capable rigs of experienced drivers to head in today to ensure that they get out by evening. 40 to 42 inch width lockers, lightweight, and winches only. So they don't want just a bunch of yahoos going up there to try to help out. They're very 40 to 42 inch rigs is pretty legitimate.
You've narrowed down your pool of would-be rescuers considerably.
Considerably, exactly. Yep. In fact, only one person on our listener ultimate truck builds would have been able to go on this run. Same day, so Wednesday, day 14, made contact. Our guys made it past Mud Rock and went into the campground. They're turning around now and coming out. They will stay with Mud Rock the whole way out. Once they catch back up, everyone should be out before sundown. That didn't happen. Now we're on to December 15th, which is a Thursday, and it says everyone is officially back on unplowed pavement. There should be no more obstacles or anything hanging them up now. Apparently, the second water hole and snowdrift took a small 3 to 4 hour delay to get all the vehicles through, but they are all through and should be at the air up location within an hour. So these guys were trying to get out on Sunday, and it took them till Thursday to get back to the air up location, not home, but to the air up location. So that's quite the ordeal. That's 5 days of trying to get out of the Rubicon after a snow camping trip.
It's a hell of
Plus-
a trip, right?
Plus however many days they were out there camping prior to that. So yeah.
And I know there's been a lot of smack talk about these guys. From what I've heard, though, it's these guys actually knew what they're doing. They just didn't realize there would be this much snow or thought it'd be easier.
From what I gathered, and I could be wrong, is the snow that came in was kind of unexpected. The amount that came that quickly, which I mean, you should always be expecting more to get more than you get.
Yeah.
Or be ready for that much, but I mean that was a lot of snow that got dumped on them. Because what wasn't it, Jeremy and Mark, or Jeremy and Aaron and Rick, when they went snow camping a couple years ago, and they got dumped on like 4 feet or something like that with huge snow drifts because of it was 4 feet in some spots because of the snow drifts.
I don't recall that, but I do know that one trip that I've told the story about many times where I took Thomas to Mount Rainier and a blizzard came that was not in the forecast. And
Is that the trip you forgot your wind controller on?
I didn't forget it. It was just in my trailer. I dropped the trailer and went and did some side wheeling, and it was in the trailer. It was in the tongue box on the trailer while I was not pulling it. But yeah, it was that one. And in a 7-hour span, we got 12 inches of snow. So I know that a lot of snow can happen in a short amount of time. So,
well, yeah. But on the other hand, a part of me is jealous of these guys. Like,
absolutely.
Like this is like Bering Strait kind of like Arctic expedition stuff. 5 days of trying to dig and work your way out. People are trying to make it into you.
5 days extra.
Well, plus the trip, which I heard they left Friday, so they were gone. And I'm sure this,
a week. They were gone a week.
Work. A week with no work. I heard that the resupply was a helicopter drop. There's a comment that somebody said it was an air resupply. So I don't know. They had to have gotten quite a bit more fuel. So I'm wildly jealous. Honestly, I wish I would have been there.
Yeah,
I mean, even if you got resupplied with a snowmobile, it's still awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm jealous. I know a lot of people are talking trash, but like I want to talk to this guy and just be like, ugh, I'm jealous.
Yeah, and big shout out to Matthew Easter or Matthew. I'll just go with Matthew. He supplied some of the pictures. I grabbed them from his Facebook page. He was on the recovery with the last batch of the recovery.
He's the guy in the red Jeep here.
Yeah, so it looks like a CJ, or is that a flat fender?
Well, in that picture, it's got flat fenders. So
yeah, that's a Willys.
That looks like a Willys to me.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, it looked like a Willis.
Willis?
What?
Yeah.
What you talking about?
With a nice worn winch on the front. So
yeah.
Shout out to them for spending the time and the effort to help recover these people. I really like we've talked about the recovery groups. We've had some on our podcast. Recovery groups like this really make it nice. It gives you a little bit of relief to know if you get stuck, there is some sort of hope. Not always.
Let's talk about our next news story here. Same kind of situation. Someone got stuck in the snow. This time, though, it was someone from Texas, not Eric, but someone from Texas rented a van, and they got stuck in the snow. Let's see here.
Hashtag
It was a place called Troy Meadows outside of the Sequoia National Forest. So this is also in the great state of California.
and that's
hashtag van life. So this says this is also all through Facebook. I collected comments and stuff from the original poster and things like that. So this says, which one of y'all thought it would be a great idea to rent a Traveler's Auto Barn, which is this Chevy van with a high top, and drive it into a blizzard past the sign that read "No vehicles, snowmobiles only," and get stuck and be rescued? You better use better judgment and planning on your next adventure. You can come back in May after all the snow melts to pick up your tourist van. And this person also says the only sign posted on the South Fork is to carry chains, and they didn't have any chains. And the person driving it purchased all the insurance options, no added fees or expenses, just a tourist from Texas that was given some bad information. So someone must have told them it was okay to go up there. And it sounds like it was more than one person.
It's probably okay to go up there to a certain point.
Whoa, don't assume their gender.
I want to point out that if you looked at that picture at the front, he went till snow was coming over the hood.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'll just plow through this. It's 4x4, right?
Like, he's still going uphill. Did he think the snow was going to get less?
That was a bunch of the comments. They're like, oh man, he should have just gone a little farther because there's less snow the higher you go.
Yeah. I don't know how the insurance works, but it's like $400 a day to rent one of these. If it's stuck there till May, hang on, let me get my calculator out. He's going to have like a $300,000 bill. So I don't know if insurance covers that or how that works, but that's going to be interesting.
Yeah, it's going to be. Yeah, I would love to hear how that one ends up.
I'd also want to know, is it like once you hit a certain point on that, is the van just mine? Like once I've paid them $87,000, do I get to keep the van?
Oh, yeah. Or does the insurance just total it out? Insurance company just totals it out.
Honestly, at this point,
the rental company.
They should just went at it with bats and be like, yeah, I wrecked it. Sorry, it's over there.
Let's see. So it says it's in a designated snowmobile area, not an RV play area. So the gates are open. Common sense is the only barrier. The people are safe. They were transported to the Kennedy Meadows General Store by sheriff deputy. They were met by an ambulance, treated for exposure. The deputy then transported them to Ridgecrest. I don't know what Ridgecrest is. On Thursday, I retrieved their property from the RV and delivered it to them. Rental company is working with local authorities to see if removal is possible. So, yeah, I think this picture right here that you have up, the 4-seater side by side on tracks, is the deputy that went up and got him.
I think there's a good chance it could be recovered. But it would take something like a snowcat or a couple of these side by sides.
I'm gonna stop you right there. They're working with local authorities not to see it. That's easily possible to be recovered, but it's in a snowmobile only zone, and the snowmobile guys are a little whatever about people taking vehicles in there. So now to take more in to get it out, man, you're really gonna give them a wedgie.
That's why I'm saying like a snowcat, because then the snowcat can groom the trail as they're pulling it out.
What would be dope is if they went up there with a snowcat and a track conversion for a Chevy 3500. And then they just took the tires off, bolted the track conversion on, and then like it'd be legal. It's a tracked vehicle, and just drove it out.
I am the snowmobile now.
Oh man, that'd be great.
I was hoping that while sitting there with that, if you look at the front of it, that is a perfect ramp. They start throwing stuff on that thing. These snowmobile guys just be sending it all day.
I was thinking they should leave the doors unlocked so it could be like one of those warming shelters.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So
I mean, there's even toilet paper in there, so it's
there
right-
is.
You can see it on the dash.
Yeah.
too.
We
Me too.
we better get to the main topic. We're 50 minutes in.
Oh, okay.
Go prepared with Warren Industries. They produced the first recreational winch in 1959 and lead the industry with their dedication to quality and reliability. When you dig yourself in deep, make sure you have the right tools to get yourself out. Get Warren equipped and go where others can't. Now, let's get ready for adventure and head into our main topic.
So, ding, ding, ding. All entries are in, and we've got that contest we've been talking about, right, Aaron?
Yeah. Why don't we let's see here. We've got 8 to go over. We could each read 2 or 3 of these and just kind of work our way through. Why don't I go first? Ben, you can be second, and Coy, you can just go third, and we'll just read our way through. We're not going to mention the people's last names, so if you are the winner, you'll have to know what your first name is and remember what you put into build. So,
Yeah.
And once we're done reading these, Ben's going to roll some dice and pick he has an 8-sided dice of all things.
Yeah, I play D&D. I'm a nerd.
I don't know how you get 8 sides on a 6-sided piece of plastic, but I guess that's beyond me.
It's a diamond.
A diamond. There it is. 8 sides.
Yeah.
It's 2 pyramids. It's a pyramid scheme. All right. So the first one here is from Matthew, and he wrote, "Hey guys, for the dream build, if I won the lottery, 95 Jeep YJ with a Dana Track 60 axles, 74 weld portals, 42-inch BFG crawler red label stickies on 20-inch KMC beadlock." So I guess there's 2 people that mentioned 40s and above. The R28 Cummins swap with the AX15 5-speed. So far I'm digging this build. An Atlas transfer case, Moto built 4-link suspension, King coilovers, Moto built custom roll cage and bumpers, and of course a Warren winch. I like the 9.5 CTI, but it's discontinued. Casey lighting, PRP seats with a 3rd seat in the back for his dog. Autometer Jeep YJ gauge package. And gotta have those MTX subs and speakers paired with an Alpine head unit. Painted anvil with Toyota Inferno orange accents. I don't know what anvil color is, but I'm guessing it's a gunmetal type color.
Yeah, I believe it's gray.
Okay. It would make sense that anvil would be gray. So that's a pretty sweet YG build.
And then build number 2 is from Ryan. I build a Land Cruiser 70 series to overland around the world. Locked front and rear, 3-inch lift, 35. Switch out the bed for one of those awesome Australian tray boxes with the double hatches. What's his name in the comments? Tonight? Josh. He's got something going on like that with his Frontier. Fully loaded to explore gear wise. Warren 8274 10K winch with beadlocks and enough lumens to up front to melt the polar ice cap.
In the comments, Eric says, "Don't read my Frankenstein monster." So, okay, I won't read it. Ben, I don't want you to read it either.
Number 3, we have an entry by Eric. It's a 1949 Dodge Power Wagon crew cab, or a 1954 Town Wagon. I can't decide. Painted olive drab with WW2 era stars. Genuine Mopar Hellcrate Red Eye 6.2 supercharged crate AMI engine. Would like a Demon that might be going too far. The Tremec 6-speed transmission to pair with the 6.2 Hellcat motor. The dash would have to be customized and have all the gauges and switches needed for all my needs.
Ads.
Ads?
Yeah. Like his add-ons.
Oh, mods. There we go.
Yep.
Want to keep it as original as possible, though. I'd have someone design and build a 4-link to accommodate the 58-inch Maxey Thompson Pro XS tires, just because they are the largest street legal tires made. But I'd typically run 40s of the same tires, both on beadlocks. Suspension would have to be adjustable to make each look right. Interior
I like
adds would be air conditioning, power inverter, a tablet mount with Bluetooth keyboard, mouse pad, full recovery gear, tire repair, and first aid kit in the drawer system in the rear, ARB twin air compressor with tank, unless there's something better, in quotes, double din stereo deck with sound system, and cell phone mount that actually works. So all this is pretty possible, except for that last one. Honestly,
That's
let me
right. That one is impossible.
yeah.
Mob.
Oh, there's more here. More. Sorry. Exterior adds front and rear air lockers, custom front and rear bumpers, rock sliders, full skid plates, a Warren 16.5 Ti front and rear, lights all around, practical, not for show, cameras to create 360 overhead view on tablet, custom frame trailer made for power wagon bed matching with 40-inch tires with Timberon or similar suspension, rooftop tent, drawer set with kitchen, another power inverter because why not, a fridge, 2 additional batteries with solar charging, and a heater for the tent. And he says, I'll take any ideas for additional stuff, but won't take any of Aaron's advice on things I don't need, like 4-link stereo and extra stuff.
Man, that's harsh.
The actually for the cell phone mount that actually works, I believe Mob Armor, theirs work pretty well for a magnetic one.
So number 4 is Paul. It says, this project I will do someday to some extent, but if I was to win the lottery, I would do it tomorrow. I love your enthusiasm there, Paul. I would buy a 2005-ish crew cab Ram with the SRT 10. So that's that Viper V10 motor. Pickup truck and make it the ultimate pre-runner. I believe it has the 2500 transmission and obviously plenty of power and gearing. I don't think it would be too hard to do a long travel suspension other than the hood and the rear spoiler, which I would just leave for fun. You wouldn't be able to tell if it was an SRT10. Not sure other details you guys are interested in, but an addictive Desert Designs bumper with Baja Designs lights, King Long Travel. I thought that was a Chinese company for a second. The King Long Travel. All the way around. Deaver Springs, humongous Toyo MT on method wheels would be a great start. Love the show.
Our next build's from Joe. My dream build would consist of the following: a 2022 Jeep Gladiator Rubicon diesel, 40-inch Mickey Thompson Baja Boss, 17 fuel wrapped beadlocks, 74 weld portal axle kit, stock suspension because portals are awesome, an LU cab canopy, a Warren Evo 12S winch, power tank CO2 setup with all the bells and whistles, Warren Epic shackles amongst all the recovery gear, preferably 2. I drive the deepest snow I could find, air down to 3 psi, and let it eat. Snow wheeling is the best wheeling.
Totally agree with that last statement. Jordan has his build here. He says, I would build a 2nd-gen Bronco resto mod to rock crawl 78 79 Bronco and wheel it places like Sand Hollow and Rubicon. I used to have one of those. Swap in a 6.2 liter LS3 LS, axle T case, a Dana 60/89 axles with 5.38 gearing, dated 4-link with King coilovers, hydro steering package, 20-inch Raceline beadlocks, 42-inch stickies, full aluminum skids and bumpers.
I like that Jordan went with aluminum skids and bumpers. That's a nice detail to help keep things a little bit lighter weight on a full-size rig like that.
Yep. Nolan here says, if I were to win the lottery, my ideal rig would be a lifted Gladiator on 35s, full light and bumper setup with a cargo rack on the back, off-road pop-up camper to fill the fill with the fam. But the rest of that money, I'm buying land in a farm and building a custom off-road course.
I like that idea. All right, here we go. The last one is from Alex. He says, I would like to build a new 2022 Subaru Outback Wilderness and use it to explore all the national parks. It's going to have an Ironman 4x4 2-inch lift kit, which gets you only an 1.5-inch lift on the Wilderness Edition. Sorry, 1.25-inch lift. Rally Tech complete skid plate set, Torque Master rear locker, roof rack with clamshell roof top tent and 270-degree awning, the Warn semi-hidden winch tray up front with a Xeon 8S winch, and a Wilco rear tire carrier hitch thing on 30-inch BFG KO2s.
You need a mess. I need to know if Alex lives in the Portland metro area. He has to. Just has to. Just know. I need to know.
Yeah. Do you guys have any favorites in here before we roll the dice, literally?
I'll go first.
Yeah,
I think it was Jordan with the Bronco. I used to have a 79 Bronco. I think they're just kind of a cool and used to be underrated, but if I've been watching the prices, they're getting more and more rated as the new Bronco came out. First one, I don't recall the name, Jeep with a Weld 74. It's not a big Jeep guy, but that build sheet, perfect Jeep.
The only thing I changed out of that is instead of a TJ, I go with, or instead of a YJ, I go with a TJ.
Yeah.
I just like TJs a little more.
Gotcha. I really like the 70 series build. It's pretty mild. It's got a 3-inch lift, lockers front and rear, 35s, with the Australian tray box. I think that's a pretty sweet build, and I love that they picked the Warn 8274, the classic winch, because I think that'd be classic on a 70 series Land Rover. Not a big old fancy Xeon winch. It's just got the classic winch.
I love.
You know that winch costs like $3,000, right?
Well, I mean, you're almost a billionaire at this point. It's okay.
Oh yeah.
So
I'm just saying, like, you're like, it's just so classic.
Really?
It's like the most expensive winch they make.
I don't know if you know, Coy, but they started making that winch after World War II.
That's why it's a classic, I guess. Anything after World War II
is a classic.
Have either you or Ben together, like, you have a build list in your head of what you do if you'd won the lottery?
I was talking about this last night with the guys, and like, I don't have a good grasp, and I wasn't feeling last night. It was a long weekend, and I wasn't feeling very creative. The only thing that was popping in my head was like a 200 series Land Cruiser, or like the Lexus version of the 200 series, all overlanded out with a mild lift and 35s or something.
I'd been thinking about a like a GX 470 and doing a long travel suspension, kind of like Aaron had mentioned. Well, no, kind of like you had mentioned those guys you'd met in Nevada where they had come up from Reno all through the desert with the long travel and all that. That just sounds fun. To have a properly tuned rig like that. And then the other thing would be I've had it on the Christmas list a few times. The one where you help build it, the rally.
Rally Fighter?
Rally Fighter, yeah.
Yeah,
that's a very cars.
Man, that's a good one.
I mean, there's like a complete rig right there. You kind of just have to choose your options. So
yeah. How about you, Coy?
Honestly, since it's a win the lottery kind of dream build, kind of my dream build would be, I'm assuming I have other vehicles that I built, but
sure.
I'd build like a FJ45, kind of an all-rounder. Probably, I'd want portals, obviously, but 37s, 38s, I wouldn't go huge on the tire since I'm doing like portals, but yeah, a nice FJ45. I don't even think I'd do a tray. I'd maybe do the 4-door with the little bed, and just kind of, it wouldn't even have to be that nice, just some whatever pastel paint that I could get, and then just do it up for like a good all-around wheeler.
Yeah, there's some cool rigs. Like I've never seen anyone do anything to the Lamborghini off-road. I've seen a video.
Rambo Lambo.
They have
Which the new Urus or the LM002?
the Urus, I think it is.
So the brand new one.
Yeah, it'd be hilarious to see someone actually off-roading one. There's a TikTok video I think I have saved of someone like doing donuts in the mud with it. I'll share it later. I'll share it in the Facebook.
Okay. Yeah.
But it'd be cool to see one of those kind of built up. I mean, if you've got the money, it'd be like, all right, peasants, step aside. Here comes the Lambo coming up the Rubicon.
Imagine having that thing totally built and showing up unannounced to Northwest Overland Rally or something like that.
Yeah, it'd be cool. It's kind of like
it'd be cool, and so many people would hate you though. They'd be like, "Oh, what a douche."
But
you would have to show up after doing like a trip to the Horn and back, and then show up.
Yeah.
So they'd want to hate you and be like, "Well, he's a fake," and he'd be like, "Actually, he just drove to the tip of South America and back. he hasn't been home yet."
Yeah.
It would just be kind of a cool, the more unique and obviously obnoxiously expensive would be hilarious. There was I can't remember, there was someone talking one time about they were stuck down in this little gulch, and the guys that came to rescue them, one of them was driving a Porsche Cayenne when they were sort of new, and it was lifted on 35s, and the dude gets out and he was wearing like slacks and Birkenstock or something like that.
Oh my goodness.
And he's like, "Oh yeah, I'll just hook you up." And he hooks him up and he like pulls him up out of this gulch. And it was just like, what's this rig doing here on this recovery? It's just obnoxiously awesome. So
that is awesome. Well, let's roll those dice, Ben, and find us a winner for the epic shackle giveaway.
Rolling.
Boom.
And it's number 4.
I can't even see. I'm gonna have to trust. There's a 4.
There's the
All
4.
right, who's number 4? Paul with the Ram SRT 10 is the winner. So Paul, make sure you reach out to us in some sort of timely manner so that I can mail these super heavy shackles to you. Hopefully you're close to me or something. That'd be even better. I'd love to just pass these off.
You'll get them quicker than Jeremy will get his off-road podcast badge.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, congrats, Paul. I'm excited that at some point in your life you do plan to build this truck in real life. So that's cool.
That is a pretty awesome build.
And congrats to all of our listeners for listening to us. We appreciate you guys. And thank you guys in the comments. The comments were great again today. We appreciate you guys there helping keep the show fun and helping us make fun of each other, because we can't always think of everything. Make sure you're sharing us with your friends just to help our show grow, and God bless America.
And Merry Christmas, because that's
right. Ho, ho, ho.
Don't forget to visit Patriot Patch and join the Patch of the Month Club. Check out our Gaia affiliate link for up to 40% off. Also, don't forget to head over to Warren Medical Gear Outfitters and Kobe Valve to see all their great gear. We're a proud part of the Firearms Radio Network. Got a comment or question? Send it to us through our webpage at firearmsradio.net or through our social media channels by searching for Offroad Podcast. Also, you can listen to us live at overlandradio.com Mondays at 7 p.m. Pacific. When off-road, please remember to have fun, tread lightly, be safe, and courteous. Thanks for listening.
You know what I keep forgetting to bring up is our SEMA recap. We never talked about the Harbor Freight off-road jack.
You'll have to have that in a news segment or something.
Yeah.